Yep.
Let me also give the mic a little boost.
Let's play our 30-second counting down, and we will be right here.
Sure. Oh, damn, that's right. I'm just using it.
No.
No. Okay, nice. Okay.
Let me double check our connections over here and to make sure that we are well connected, because right now, yeah, we are streaming across different platforms over here. Okay, perfect. And everyone, welcome to today's Nimble AI panel with Gaib. Yeah, very cute name. And I know both Alex and Connie met in person, right? Was it in Singapore or Korea Blockchain Week? But yeah, good for you. And you guys were also talking about meeting at the DEFCON in Bangkok pretty soon, right? That is just amazing.
Right.
Yeah, so glad to connect all of you again over here online at our Nimble AI panel. And this is Meng. I'm going to be your host for today's AI panel. I am going to invite, how about let's invite Connie from Gaib to introduce yourself and introducing your project to us first. Thank you.
Sure. It's a great pleasure to be here. Connie, CEO of Gaib. So, a lot of people ask, how do you pronounce your name? Well, if you're a big Dun fan, you recognize our name immediately. So Lisa now Gaib is here, right? So that's the name Gaib. So we got the inspiration from Dun, the movie, and at the same time, it actually represents three things that we focus on. One is GPU, the second is AI, and the third is bond, which means like financialization of GPU assets. So that's how the name Gaib actually came from. And what we do, as the name mentions, is we focus on the financialization of GPU assets, converting them into an investment product, and allow people to invest into AI, invest into compute assets to get direct exposure. That's something not available in the market right now. So that's a quick intro.
Amazing. Yes, and definitely, yeah, going to let people remember the project by the name, right? Thank you so much for the intro, and glad to have you over here, Connie. Next, we would like to welcome Alex, our Nimble's head of marketing over here, to introduce yourself and letting our audience learn more about Nimble. Thank you.
Hey guys, how's it going? Alex here. You're probably very familiar with me. But yeah, representing Nimble, and for those of you who are new, coming from Gaib side, Nimble is just basically an open AI platform that aims to democratize AI development as much as possible, right? We want any developer to build AI agents as easily as possible and own and monetize these AI agents. At the end of the day, it's part of this like AI sharing economy vision, right? You have some extra time, you build an AI agent, you can monetize that, and then maybe switch to a freelance node in the future or not. For those of you who don't know about Nimble per se, we were using the Cosmos SDK for our Nimble chain, and we operate on a miner and validator structure to keep the network running and to scale it efficiently. So yeah, super excited to be here. Connie, great to have you on, and yeah, let's get this started.
Nice. Yeah, I already see that we got several hundred live views on both Binance Live as well as our Twitter streaming as well. Awesome, and welcome everyone to today's AI panel with both Nimble and Gaib over here. So since we already learned briefly about Gaib, right, I would like to ask Connie the following question. What is Gaib mission and what are the main challenges that your team aims to address with this project? Thank you.
Yeah, so again, you as I mentioned, right, we are doing the GPU finalization, and then we do DeFi on top. So exactly what we do. When I say GPU, most people immediately think of it as a utility. Well, you use GPU to play games, 4090 at your home, to play the latest game or the other games that on Xbox and like it, right? So for most people, GPU is a utility. You use it for production, for productivity purposes. And these days, GPUs are being used for like large language model training, inferencing, fine tuning, and more and more. But for us, GPU in our eyes are actually an asset where you can invest into it. That's exactly what we want to do. So at Gaib, what we want to do is we want to tokenize GPUs and then put them on chain, so that it is an investable asset for people to actually invest into it. So what are our values and to different parties, right? Like, why should you do this instead of just leave it as utility? Well, if you think of it from different perspectives, to the AI GPU holders, to them, why should we exist? The main reason we exist is because we are opening up a big funding channel for these companies who need funding to actually buy the GPUs. For example, an AI cloud company or a data center, they actually operate on a very asset-heavy model. They use a lot of money to buy a lot of GPUs, host them, service them, and then rent it out to get the money back. But the problem with that is because this asset-heavy model, they actually require a lot of capital upfront to buy the GPUs. And most of the time, they only have two channels to buy these to get the money and buy the GPUs. One is their own money, which is like revenue or profit, and the other is like VC money, raising money from VC and then through equity fundraising to actually get the money to buy these GPUs. And the third is usually through debt, meaning you borrow money from banks or even from some private companies through private credit and things like it. But most of the companies out there, they only have the access to the first two channels. Most of them cannot get that. And as you know, that is actually more capital efficient in the company than the other two ways. So even if you can actually get that, like the big ones, CoreWeave, Lambda, they pay so much money in terms of interest rate to these like big private credit guys. We call them lenders, or big lenders out there. And not sure whether you know, like the interest rate they're paying is not 5%, which is like T-bill rate, right? They're paying almost like 15 to 20% a year in terms of interest. And there's a huge amount of like interest cost to them. And this only tells you two things. One is the funding kind of is actually very limited. The other is it makes so much money. Otherwise, you cannot afford such high interest rate in terms of funding costs to buy these GPUs. And that's why when we come in, as we're providing them with additional funding channel, right now through us organizing their GPUs, they can actually raise money from more parties than just like the limited channel that we mentioned. And the second thing is for them, they can also leverage us as a platform to connect to different AI resources that we can provide the clients at Nimble, which we have good partnerships here, so that your clients with building AI agents who need compute resources can actually go through us to get cheaper computation power. And the other way is for investors. Like investors doesn't mean like, oh, this institution investors, VC investors. It actually means you and I. Like we are the retailers, we're the small holder, back holders, DGens, right? We also want to get exposure into these AI assets. And right now, the only indirect way for us to do so is actually through buying NVIDIA stock or the other semiconductor stock, which is, well, I mean, that gives you a certain exposure, but it's not direct enough. Because if you look at the whole AI supply chain, GPU assets is actually captures most of the value in the supply chain. You have like the GPUs, and on top you have middleware, and on top you have application. So the ones that captures most value right now are the GPU asset, other infrastructure and hardware that right now. So we offer you the direct exposure by holding our tokenized GPU on our platform in order to capture the upside for it. So this is the reason why we exist. We break down the barriers for multiple markets, and then we give additional channel to the funding to the ones who need money, and then we give like a direct exposure for people to actually buy these assets. And most importantly, is we create a market. Right now, we have a commodity market for gold, for platinum, for gas, for oil, but there's no commodity market for GPU assets. Like imagine if we're entering into AI era, well, how come there's no market for you to trade these assets, trade these computation power? It just doesn't make sense. And that's what we do. We're opening a market for people to trade it, to invest into it. And yeah, so this is the problem that we solve. So when we hope to bring to the market.
Got it. Thank you so much, for addressing these kind of issues with us. And our audience, of course, a lot of them are the GPU miners, right? And definitely interested in these topics. And friends, be sure to give Gaib a follow. And next, we'd like to circle back to Alex, our head of marketing at Nimble. And we'd like to learn about the upcoming AI notebook because we have been waiting for it, right? To officially launch it. And it will be definitely a really important product for our Nimble ecosystem. And do you think it's going to be a game changer for the overall industry? Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's got to tie. It ties into our trifecta, right? What we call the AI notebook, the AI order book, and this AI agent hub, which is basically a marketplace where after you've launched your AI agent as a developer, you publish it there, and then the API lives on the Nimble chain, and that's how you monetize, right? Through applications coming in and just connecting to that API and paying a price per call. It actually ties very well into the GPU mining capability that we offer, and then what Connie was saying, right? Tokenization. I think that's an incredible idea in itself, because I think it can, it's a way to raise funding, right? The way I see it as well, from what I understood. That's not necessarily going to result in huge selling pressure from parties that say that help you mine tokens in exchange for providing their GPU resources. So this is a cool product. Connie, I really like the way it sounds, and can't wait to see how it's going to developing even more. But with the AI notebook itself, you kind of have to look at it. Notebooks are not something absolutely magical, right? The idea of a notebook existed for a while, but I think the ease with which you can actually tap into the notebook and build the AI agent is what's going to separate us, and that's what we aim to do. Be among the first to launch. We haven't heard anybody launch like a major one yet, and then kind of just start onboarding AI startups, because the two key goals is this, right? Build AI agents as much as possible, and then increase inference speed. That means that whenever you have a call for an AI task, you want it to be completed as fast as possible. Imagine you talk to ChatGPT for a summary of an article. You want that summary yesterday, right? Like in a second, maybe less. That's inference speed. So that's kind of how we're going to use the AI notebook itself. And GPU miners get super excited because you'll be able to actually get even more tasks, more rewards by just connecting to the server once the AI notebook is live. So you don't need to do anything. We'll provide a README file. You're just gonna have to go through that, and that's it. The mining process remains the same. And once you start kind of getting the AI notebook passed, you'll just get more rewards.
Wow.
But our idea is to be able to maybe service like hundreds of AI notebooks being like running at the same time, right? We've been testing that for 2 weeks in terms of ensuring scalability, and that's where we see like the changing the game to a certain extent. So yeah, so incredibly excited about that. We'll have this massive launch next week, public, no delays. But that should be it. That should be it.
Yeah, let's push it to our devs. I know we have been testing our AI notebook for a while. I'm fixing the bugs. I can't wait for the official launch of it. Hopefully by the end of this week, if not next week. Well, we don't know, but pretty soon. Yeah, within a short time frame, we're going to push out our Nimble's official AI notebook to the public. And next, we have another question for Connie from Gaib. How do you see, since we talk about GPU, right? So what is the role of GPU in the future, especially within the AI and DeFi economy? And how will Gaib drive the technological and economical innovation in this ecosystem. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So, Mike. Yeah, also excited about the AI what that you guys are doing, because I'm a big AI fan myself. I also built my AI agent before doing Gaib, and way before everything ChatGPT was launching. And yeah, so I understand the problems you mentioned. Always latency is what drives you nuts, right? Back in the days when I had a huge condition, when you use the API side, that takes a long time to get back to me, which is just like your annoying girlfriend. It's just like they don't reply you when you want them. Yeah, so coming back to GPU, right? So what these GPUs and AI cloud servers are doing exactly want to solve the same problem, to provide you with the faster speed, more computation power. And I think the key for GPUs in AI and DeFi economy is what Simon once said. Like GPUs, computation power is a new currency, and then to impart this new currency, you have to have an asset, and that asset is the GPU. So as I mentioned earlier, it captures most of the values in the AI supply chain. Because if you look at the hardware, like it's actually very important. Hardware innovation actually drives a lot more innovations down the supply chain. The same thing happened with the invention of batteries, where we get like so that we open more portals to the same thing that happened to batteries. Like when we actually invented the batteries, they get lighter and lighter, and then they become more portable, so that now we can actually have all these electric cars running on the road, and also running for long mileage there. And also, back in the days, like generators got created so that they can allow for a further way for electricity production, and then all these electrical appliances being invented. The same thing that happened to GPU. There's one saying that someone once said that really strikes me, is that we can only do so so much that we can only do with AI these days. It's because there's so much computation power that we have. If we can have more, right now, our models won't be 400 billion parameters. It can be even more, 1 trillion parameters, 2 trillion parameters. They can be way more powerful than they are these days. And they can contain more knowledge, being trained in different ways to actually make it more efficient and things like it. So these GPUs, they actually empower a lot of the inventions. Like if you look at the latest, if you look at the whole evolution of LLMs back from 2017, 18, 19 to right now, a lot of that was driven by the innovation in GPU speed and the computation power. Like A100 launched in 2020, 2021, and then we have H100 launched in 2023, and then coming forward, we have like H200 just got shipped, and GB200, like these powerful enterprise grade GPUs being launched in the market, and also the AI chip are coming. So these are being optimized to serve for a specific task that actually make our model in the training stage more efficient, lower cost, and then make inferencing at a lower cost and also in a faster speed, so that they can serve people better way. So improve the user experiences, get the access to more people as they want. So that's why I see GPU as innovation that drives a lot of innovation in terms of the whole supply chain. And the other thing is, as I mentioned, GPU and AI and DeFi economy, it should be treated as an asset. If it's an asset, you can do investment in it because they generate cash flows. Like the more investment that you invest into these assets, the more asset and the more computation power, so that you can generate more use cases, as I mentioned just now, right? So the use cases that we can enable right now is when we tokenize the GPU, when we put it on chain, we can actually have multiple DeFi options, or the use cases being built on top. For instance, we can have GPU-backed stablecoin, we can have lending borrowing, we can have options and futures, we can also have the DeFi structured products like PK and YT, so that you can actually choose one investment product that suit your needs and suit your risk, just cater to your needs. So you can capture the AI power and the AI evolution as you want there. And imagine today, like these AI companies, what they need to do when they actually need to train model is they go to the big cloud company and they say, hey, I need to train my model. And then cloud company would force them to sign a contract 2 years worth millions of dollars. And how do they hedge against the cost? Well, if they buy our tokenized GPU, right now, imagine this: they pay $10 to the AI cloud supplier that they use, and then then we tokenize the supplier's GPU, and then they buy our GPU, tokenized GPU. They can actually capture part of the cost back by holding the tokenized GPU. So in this way, AI companies to hedge their cost by holding onto our assets. Then the other investment strategies, like the ones who would like to invest into GPU as a class, can just do a lot of speculations there. They can even have an ETF and a diversified portfolio for different types of GPUs to be invested. So the platform is actually agnostic. We are doing GPU today because they are the hottest computation asset today. We can also do other types of other computation assets when they actually come to the market, like more GPUs, more AI chips, more ASICs. So whatever it wants. So to me, I think GPUs and other computation asset as the core of the whole supply chain, it should be treated as an asset. You can invest into it, and we're opening that for people.
Got it. Thank you so much, Connie, for letting us know about that. Wow, building your own AI agent even before ChatGPT was popular. You are definitely a tech guy, well, or the only tech guy within our backstage right now. So good for you. And since we were talking about AI agent, I'd like to go over to Alex, our head of marketing at Nimble, to talk about what are some applications of AI agent that developers can build with Nimble for the SocialFi sector. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great question. And as we launch the book, then of course we want to give a bit more inspiration to developers on what they can actually build. So as part of that, we're going to have these kind of, let's call them like AI agent frameworks that you can fork, and there's going to be a limited number of these frameworks being able to be forked. In on the SocialFi specifically, I see quite a wide range of possibilities, right? Like applications from personalized content curation and moderation to decentralized autonomous content moderation. Let's take the first one, right? You build an AI agent for users that would help them actually curate content better, right? I joined Barcaster last year in April. It was very serious, very like professional. Then with DJ and the points token, it kind of like blew up in December, January. So while I was in January, I was there in January, February, everything was so very clean. A lot of channels they could go, and not that many channels actually. You had a founder channel, and everything was gold in terms of information. Now it's probably garbage, which is normal, right? Like you need curation and filtration of content to kind of make sure that you get the best experience on a social network, and in this case, a decentralized social network. So imagine these AI agents that would actually help you kind of tailor your experience on a network based on what kind of NFTs you collect, right? We're talking on-chain activity for the most part. They look at your social graph in the background. They look at your interaction. Maybe you're already on links, but you're not a podcaster. So based on that, they can kind of translate what's going on, and it gives, I think, the decentralized side of things, it gives users control over curation algorithms in a way. So this is, for example, one use case. Another one would be content moderation. Like big corporate giants like Meta or Snapchat or even TikTok, I'm sure, they've struggled continuously, and they continue to struggle on content moderation, right? You need people that would have to look at gruesome images like domestic violence, like child pornography, just try to get that off the network as much as possible. And it's not a model that scales well. And I think AI agents would be able to actually maybe do an even better job in real time by having everything on chain, right? So you can moderate networks like Barcaster or Lens when they scale past the initial what now Lens has. I think almost 500K users. Barcaster has seen that a while ago. These are not active users, like not daily active users, but follow users per se. So this is like a major way for agents to flag inappropriate content and kind of even suggest decentralized proposals. Lens kind of got into heated waters a while ago. We're talking a few months ago when they proposed a more centralized way to curate content, right? Which just goes exactly against that thesis of decentralized social networks. But in this case, for example, if you could have decentralized AI agents come in and based on the inappropriate content that they flag, create some decentralized proposals for content removal that would help the, maybe at the DAO level manage that that content removal more transparently, right? I think this is something that would come in really quickly and then just follow the scalability dilemma of moderation too. There are many others. I don't know. I see simple use cases like social bots. Get your grandma on. It help you with wallet setups, with minting NFTs on the network. It just basically like smart bots, right? It's just have it plain and simple out there. Or this idea of P2P interactions or trustless social interactions. You don't know who's trustworthy on chain. This is still a problem. Like whenever I cannot click any link just because I have a fear I'm going to get scammed and get my wallet drained. So agents can actually do this. Maybe suggest more trusted peers based on their activity. Maybe based on how many wallets and how much swindling they do. Hopefully they don't, and things like this. So they could come in, and kind of like ensure a more secure P2P interaction without centralized authority. Just because right now the solution that we have is mostly decentralized, right? In terms of all these points, it can be AI influencers. They're already very popular, right? But imagine having that on chain and building that, and actually you build as a developer maybe types of AI influencers that users can actually fork and have them monetize, right? The interactions, launching collections, just like anybody would. Or lastly, different communities, right? I think these are some of the main use cases that we see for AI agents in the social price space, and there's plenty of room to address a lot of issues and scale massively.
Nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, Alex, for letting us know about like if AI agent could really save us from those phishing skins, that would be great because there are a lot of them. Wow. A lot of the drainers. Oh my goodness. And just wanted to get rid of them. Yeah. And thank you so much to both Alex and Connie for sharing lots and lots of great information with us regarding from GPUs to AI agent and to the future, right? And some issues that you saw and wanted to address for our DeFi and AI industries. Appreciate for your time. And when will be the DEF CON in Bangkok? Going to be in November, early November? Nice. I remember it's after
November 16th.
Okay, awesome.
November 16.
11 to
11. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yes, that we.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, I was close.
Yeah. Well, I just remember it's after the election, the presidential election. So, well, lots and lots of things are happening now, and we'll see what's going to happen for the future. And glad to have you here again. And well, share more information with us during the DEF CON week, and then maybe we could connect and create more content together again. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a AI summit coming on.
Oh.
So let's meet in DEF CON. Yeah.
Oh. Awesome.
Okay,
nice.
perfect.
Yeah, Alex, you could create more video content out of that as well.
Yeah, go around and ask people what the future of AI looks like. I know some people were taken aback by that question.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to close our page over here, and I will share some screenshots with you later in our group chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Connie. Thanks, Mulai.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Give us a follow.
Yeah, be sure to follow.
Gaib, listen and Gaib.
Nice.
And Nimble.
Yeah. Bye. Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, let's listen to some upbeat music to wrap up the session. Let's go.